Good evening. This is Mike Arnold, and for the next hour I will be your host in looking back upon the first broadcast year of WSMH Radio. Exactly 7 months ago today, December 1st, 1974, WSMH signed on the air to bring to its listeners a variety in radio entertainment. On the 23rd of that first broadcast month, WSMH presented its 1974 Christmas special. It was a show of classical Christmas music mixed with contemporary tunes. The ending of that special went like this.
For you and me beneath the mistletoe. Christmas is coming, how joyful it will be. Our family will gather round the with silver tips so shiny bright. The room is all aglow as a kiss from heaven beneath the mistletoe. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
This is Joe Moma, Chief Engineer of WSMH FM, and at this time I'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This is Catherine Haas, Secretary for WSMH, and I'd like to wish all our listeners a very joyful holiday season.
Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding.
Now bring us some figgy pudding.
Now bring us some figgy pudding and bring it out here.
This is Mike Arnold, the General Manager of WSMH FM. On behalf of myself and the rest of the staff of WSMH Radio, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for listening to WSMH FM during the past broadcast year, and we hope in the upcoming new year you will keep in tune to Western New York's only educational radio station, WSMH 91.3 FM in Lancaster, New York.
Happy New Year, Merry, Merry Christmas, and a Happy, Happy New Year, Noel.
That statement that I made at the end of the first special was to be fulfilled during the upcoming broadcast year. WSMH's programming saw to it that all of our listeners would be satisfied. The day-to-day broadcast schedule for WSMH started at 5 p.m. with Program Guide, which gave a description of the programs that were to be offered that certain day. Immediately following Program Guide was Community News with News Director Steve Podolsek.
Good evening, this is WSMH FM Community News for Friday, May the 30th, and I'm News Director Steve Podolsek. Believe it or not, the lines at the Pew office of the New York State's Department of Labor's Employment Division has been getting shorter since April 11th. According to figures released by the Department of Labor, the number of persons registered for unemployment benefits at the Broadway office reached a total of 12,807 on April 11th and have been dropping slowly since then. The figures released for the week of May 30th show that 10,141 persons received some form of unemployment benefits. The various claims are classified under regular, extended, emergency, and special unemployment assistance programs. As final exams in summer approach, many area teenagers will be pounding the pavement seeking summer employment. However, the chances of getting jobs are going to be scarce. In an effort to aid Lancaster teens in their search for employment, Mrs. Gloria Gorenflow, the town Youth Bureau Youth Power and Coordinator, is seeking employers as well as employees. The Youth Power Project is completely funded by the Lancaster Youth Bureau and is designed to break youngsters into the working world gradually. The program operates 12 months a year. In St. Mary's High School sports, the St. Mary's High School tennis team won their final 2 matches of the season this past week and clinched the first place spot in the Smith Division and Catholic League competition. Dave Szymanski, who is second seed in the All-Catholic Tennis competition, did not lose a match at all this year. His record was 11-0. Sophomore Dave Levan takes his 9-0 league record in the tournament this year. Mark Stefan, with his league record of 8-1, is the third star in the Lancer Horizon this season. Congratulations to Father Raymond Shrimp, as he's coached the St. Mary's squad this year, as he's done for the past 4 years. During that time, he's proved to be the winningest coach at the school. His teams have taken the championship outright twice. They've shared the crown with St. Francis once and ended up in second place once. Lori Wagner, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Donald Wagner, has been named St. Mary's High School Outstanding Girl Athlete of the Year. A senior, Miss Wagner boasts a sensational record in girls athletics at St. Mary's, winning both the 3 and 4 sport awards. She's also a member of the senior class and the National Honor Society. And also the girls did take the Monsignor Hammerl Sports Supremacy Trophy by beating all the other schools with 89 points. The St. Mary's High School track team completed its regular season schedule this past Thursday by defeating St. Mary's School for the Deaf 55-54. The victory evened the team's league record at 3-3, good for 4th place in the Smith Division, and the highest finish for a St. Mary's track team in 10 years. The weather for Buffalo and vicinity. Although another nice weekend is in store for the area, except for there being a chance of showers on Friday and Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-70s and lows in the mid-50s. There's a song that goes, there's a song My Way, and the first line is, and now the end is near. Well, tonight's the last newscast I'll do for WSMH FM 91.3. Try and move on to different and bigger horizons. All I like to say on behalf of the entire news department of WSMH FM, I'd like to thank you for calling us and sending us different news so we could air to you, and also for listening to us during the 1975 broadcasting season. So on behalf of the entire staff of the news department, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to wish you a very nice summer and good luck in whatever you do. Thank you very much. This is News Director Steve Fedozik for WSMH FM Community News on this, the 30th of May, 1975. Good night, and thank you.
On the weekdays, following community news, was a show entitled Horse Sense with Gary Yerge. This was a show about horse racing, with the host giving predictions and some advice.
You are now in tune to Horse Sense, a show of horse race predictions where your host Gary Yerge dares to defy the odds. Now to trackside with Gary Yerge.
Thanks, Mike. As all you racing fans well know, this is the last Horse Sense of the season. Our radio station, WSMH FM 91, will be going off the air until the beginning of September when the school year resumes. In this final episode of Horse Sense, I would like to thank all the people who listened to it, and I hope I helped you out a little when you went out to the races. I gave you maybe a little guideline what to play if you didn't know what to play, and I think my best bets might have helped you out when you're trying to make that one winner that you really want, and you can make some big money on the show part of the deal. In conclusion, for this last show, we're going to have yesterday's results and then tonight's pick at Buffalo Raceway. In the first, Keystone Wampum paid $16.20 to win, $7.40 to place, and $7.40 to show. Christmas Donut paid $12.60 to place and $7.60 to show, and Dr. Shooty paid $5.40 to show. It is now time for tonight's choices at Buffalo Raceway. In the first, number 2, Berwick Baby. In the second, number 1, The Hugger. In the third, number 8, Kadar. In the fourth, number 7, Fair Sis. In the fifth, our best bet of the night, number 3, Attache. Once again, I'd like to remind you that these are my opinions and they in no way reflect the opinions of this station or its management. Well, fans, this is the last Horse Sense of the day. of the year, I should say. And I think it's been a very rewarding year for myself, and I hope for you fans in financial gains. Until I see you out at the track, this is Gary Yerge saying good luck in your racing years that follow ahead.
You have just heard the last show of Horse Sense with your host, Gary Yerge. This is your announcer, Mike Arnold, thanking you for tuning in to Horse Sense during the past year. Keep an eye open for Horse Sense again this coming September, when it will once again ride the airwaves with betting tips and advice for all you racing fans. This program was pre-recorded.
After Horse Sense on Mondays was a program entitled Sports Talk.
You are now in tune to Sports Talk with John Kemitzer, Paul Schmidt, and your host, Don Nichter.
Good evening once again, everyone, and welcome to Sport Talk. This is Don Nichter, your host for Sport Talk, along with Paul Schmidt and John Kemitzer. And the first thing we want to discuss here is the local sports scene at St. Mary's High School and the baseball scene, Paul.
During the past week, Don, we had 3 games. Wednesday was the first game against the number 1 team in the Smith League, Manzetti. And in that game, we lost the game 10-0, getting only 3 hits. And then last Saturday, we played a doubleheader against Lancaster, splitting against Lancaster, losing the first game 9-2, and coming back to win the nightcap 4-2. And right now, the St. Mary's in the league stands at 2-4, and overall we're 4-8. Right now, we stand 4th place in the Smith division, behind Manzetti with 5-0 record, Miller Dame 5-2, and Walls 5-3. So it's going to be a real struggle for us to make the playoffs.
Well, the top 4 teams in the division will make the playoffs and go against the Burke team in the Manhattan Cup playoffs at the end of the season. And as Paul said, also in the running is Baker Victory with a 2-5 record. St. Francis is 2-3, and DeSales is in last place with a 1-5 record. And pending the outcome of a game that was tentatively scheduled for this afternoon, the game of which the results will not be available at the airing of this show, but the game was scheduled for this afternoon against DeSales. And what does the future schedule look for the rest of the week, Paul?
As you mentioned, today we go against DeSales, and Wednesday we'll be traveling to the second place Miller Dame team at Batavia. Thursday we'll be playing Depew at night at 8:30 underneath the lights, and Saturday at noon we play St. Francis at Lackawanna Stadium.
This has been Don Nichter along with Paul Schmidt. Be a good sport.
You have just heard Sports Talk with John Kemitzer, Paul Schmidt, and your host, Don Nichter. The opinions that were expressed on this show by the host were not the opinions of WSMH FM or of St. Mary's High School, but the opinions of the hosts. This is your announcer, Mike Arnold, reminding you to tune in again next week, Monday, May 19th at 5:20 p.m. when Sports Talk returns. This program was pre-recorded.
On Wednesdays at 5:20 p.m., Connie Oswald would present a story for our very young listeners. That show was entitled The Storyteller.